It's been a while since I made a video and tried to talk to people out in the world, other people out in the world that I resonate with. I guess in the way that I think, in the formation of the structure of how I think, um, because I can't give you anything that will make you feel wonderful right now. I can't make you jump up and down and be all and feel great and just be all like warm and fuzzy all over and you just think this and make you think that I'm just this terrific person, that I'm just this wonderful guy that comes along. I'm a very 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 rare person that comes along very rarely and is willing to like sit down with you and have a discussion with you, and treat you like what you have and what you have to say is important and that you matter and you count and whatever or wherever or whoever you are, that you're important and that you have a mission in your life, and that um whatever happens to you, um I have no ill will towards anyone. I mean, even the people that have almost run into me on the road and have driven really close behind me, and then have come up to me with their bright headlights on and are on a really dark country road and have like flipped me off or yelled at me out of their window or were really angry on the highway with me. Um, during those moments of being driving a car and having to deal with other people on the highway that were very angry or agitated. In those instances, I have no ill will. I have no hard feelings. I have no hard feelings against all the people that have robbed me and stolen from me, and all the people that have defamed my character, that have said rude things to me and have hurt my reputation, said things behind my back. Um, I have no ill will. I hope the best for. What the best thing I could say is not, oh, I wish you a good day, or I wish you a happy birthday or Merry Christmas or um or health or wealth. You know what? I wish you all that when you die, that you feel really good. That when the day of when the dawn is closing in on you of your life, that you go gently in the night, and that when you go, all your affairs are in order, and that you are physically very comfortable. You have all if there's something physically wrong with you, you have all the medical medicine at your disposal to make you feel really good, and that you have people around you that care about you, that respect you, other family members, and that you die in a dignified way, and that you have a happy death. Okay, I wish for you a good, comfortable, happy death, and that I hope that you live a long, rich, rewarding life. I hope that you never have to experience anything that's really uncomfortable or really unpleasant. I hope that all your friends and all of your family and everybody that you know that lives around you and everyone will always be healthy, and a loved one dying. I hope that you never have to experience someone you love being ill. I hope that your life is like always sunsets, beautiful rainbows, and every day is like a wonderful wedding day, and that when you wake up every morning, it's like a Christmas morning for a 5-year-old, and that that's what I wish, and that because in a weird way, if the universe is infinite, then you'll be that person. Does that sound like weird or strange? But whoever you meet, all the people that you meet and your mom and your dad, all your brothers and sisters, everybody you know, everybody you work with, everybody who's ever known in your whole life, you will eventually become that person. In an infinite, given an infinity, if there's no end, and the laws of nature reshuffle again and again and again and again, forever and ever and ever, that the consciousness that you are now will be another consciousness that will you'll be just somebody entirely different. You'll even be animals too. We all will. So every person that's ever been sentient Every consciousness that's ever existed, that will exist, you will be that eventually. And there's a story on the online. It's called The Egg, and they delve into that idea. And it's not, I'm not the originator. It's not my idea. It's probably a lot of people probably thought about that, but they've never heard that story before. And then they hear the story, they go, "Wow, I thought that too." And that's kind of like me a lot. Probably when I say a lot of people out there go, "Wow, I thought about that too." I just never articulated it. I never made a video, got on YouTube and made a video and published that. I just kept those thoughts private to myself. Um, which brings about privacy. I mean, people are concerned about, wow, what if my employer watches my video and judges me and demotes me, and depending upon what I say or how I look or what I'm dressed like or the background or the type of style of the video, or like, what if a relative or a brother or sister, or even a neighbor or somebody they know or somebody that's locally around them knows them, and they watch their video, and they like you're like feeling like you're exposing yourself. I mean, it's not so much that you're exposing yourself. It doesn't bother me that I'm talking to people I'll never meet or that I have never met before, personally in real life. What bothers me um, is that people know me in secret. People that know me watch my videos, and they know all this about me, but they're very like, they'll never tell me that they know me from watching my videos. They'll never say that up to my face. So that kind of, maybe that's paranoid, but the other thing is that you're making a record of yourself in time, and so you got to be like careful about what you say and do. And like, on my last video, I was talking about end of life, which happens. It's going to happen to everybody. I mean, everyone has to face it. Why is there the taboo on it is so strong? Our social convictions, are way too restricted by religion, and that, yeah, you should go to a psychiatrist and you should fill out a form and have the psychiatrist sign it that says that they will non-disclosure, so that everything you say will never be divulged or disclosed to anyone. And then that way you can like tell them all your deepest, darkest secrets, all your sexual fantasies, all the times in you whatever, you stole a candy bar from the grocery store, or you were like a little kid and you were like hit somebody over the head with a pipe, or all the ugly things, all ugly truths about you and your internal life. Whatever happens inside of you, you could just spill your guts out to that person, tell them whatever's on your mind, and freely have a conversation with them, and not worry about any kind of like, well, they're going to call the FBI because you're like maybe you're going to you're thinking of kill yourself. So law enforcement might be involved, because then you might be a threat, because evidently there's been known people to kill themselves, and then they'll commit heinous crimes and then they'll kill themselves. So so there's a stigma attached to that in that regard. So there's always like, you're always like going to face your own mortality, right? So what do? You like, well, you're going to just accept being really, really sick and having to go to the hospital and having other people have to take care of you? Or are you going to like, are you ready for that? You're really like, okay, if you don't plan an exit out, right? If you just like let nature take its course, and maybe because nature, evidently there is no one that's looking out for you and your best interest in nature. Nature's just like a force that just does what it does. It grinds on and on and on and on, and you don't have any say. So you have to. So it's like so you have to save all this money for when you go into adult care facilities. So you got to save and save and save and save, so that when you get old and decrepit, you could go to a nursing home and pay for it. Or if you're like a really like Amy Winehart, just go out, or Jim Morrison, or famous people, they just kill themselves when they're young, so they don't have to deal with all that when they don't have to start dealing with aging and having to dealing with how they're going to die. They just take it into their own hands and do it. And like, well, maybe we should get the authorities to track this person down and make sure that do a wellness check on them, make sure that they're okay, and they're not going to be a threat. They're not going to pose any kind of a danger to anyone around them, right? Okay, then that, like, then you'll be institutionalized. You'll be have to take your if you fail, if you try to kill yourself and you fail, you'll be institutionalized. You'll be deemed insane, and there'll be power of attorney over you. There will be a Baker Act over you, and the state will take control over you, and not allow your freedom of motion. Will confine you into for observation for an indefinite period of time. So there's this like, no, but I'm philosophically preparing my own self mentally for the moment where I have to face my own demise. And it's like, why isn't that normal? Why isn't that considered um, uh, a way of? Why isn't that considered like sane? You know, I mean, if you're in your right mind and you're like thinking about, well, I'm starting to get old and I'm starting to have all my body's starting to fall apart. I'm starting to like not feel too good. I'm starting to like there's things that are going to happen down the road that I'm going to be like unprepared for, that will happen to me physically. I'll lose bladder control. I'll stop being able to walk. I won't be able to drive a car anymore. I won't be able to move around. So I'll have to depend on other people to take care of me. So you think about the future and you think about the things that can happen when you get older, elderly, or even if you're diving into a swimming pool and you hit your spine and you crack a vertebrae and you're like paralyzed from the waist down or the neck down, or you get a horrible blood vessel burst in your body and you have to be in bed all the time, and there's these things happen. So why is it considered insane for somebody to talk about, well, what if that happens to them? They think about that in the back of their own mind. They're depressed, or they have existential anxiety because they know they're going to have that deal with that someday. So it bothers them. It's on their mind. They wish they could just have a little something stashed away in it and just do it, get it over with, and be quick like that, and not have to deal with all of that. So yeah, what do you do? I mean, go to Switzerland? Yeah, you have to have like hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to be able to travel. You have to be able to have all the political connections. You got to go to the embassy. You got to leave the country. You got to have, and it's really expensive. And then you got to pay off a lot of people. Probably it's very very hard to do. And then there's like people that are like, country folk. They just have a lot of guns laying around. They go out in the woods with a bottle of Jack Daniels one day and an old decrepit shotgun, their old decrepit body, and they take their shotgun with them and they have a hunting accident. Or they go out and get drunk out and fall in the snow and freeze to death in the middle of the night, in the middle of winter, out somewhere out in the back country road where no one could find them. Or they'll like maybe they just become alcoholic and just drink themselves to death. I mean, what do people do? I mean, do they if they have a lot of money, then that's fine. They have the adult care center. They can take care of them. There's somebody there they can pay to wipe their ass and spoon feed them and put them on a respirator and have them comfortable on a special bed, keep them from getting bed sores and all the bullshit when they happen to you when you get old. So I don't know. Maybe I'm getting going. Maybe I'm trying to raise some consciousness about this out there. Maybe raise a discussion about it. Maybe I'm like, yeah, it's a bad thing to think about, but what do you do? I mean, everybody seems to have a secret, right? What's their secret? So I'm just obvious, right? Oh, this guy, he's just obvious. Oh, that guy's so obvious. Oh, that's obvious. Everybody knows that. Oh, doesn't he know? He's not in on it. That's so obvious. Yeah, so obvious.